to the latest on a church shooting in Texas that killed 26 people and injured 20 others. The masked gunman opening fire during Sunday morning services. Investigators now saying that Devin Kelly targeted his mother-in-law's church after they got into an argument. They also say he was not licensed to own a gun and that Kelly himself, after crashing, he crashed while trying to get away from the scene. For much more, let's get right out to Leanne Morejon live in Sutherland Springs, Texas. Leanne.
Lori, so many questions investigators are still trying to find the answers to. This church, this center of the community, has been a crime scene since Sunday morning when a gunman opened fire inside, unleashing carnage in a place known as a safe haven. FBI agents were back at the First Baptist Church in Sutherland Springs, combing the grass for evidence as the motive for the massacre becomes clearer.
This was not racially motivated. It wasn't over religious beliefs. There was a domestic situation going on within the family and the in-laws.
26-year-old Devin Kelly had been arguing with his mother-in-law in the days before the shooting.
We know that he had made threatening texts from him, and we can't go into details about that domestic situation that is continuing to be vetted and thoroughly investigated.
Kelly's in-laws were members of the First Baptist Church. They were not there at the time of the shooting, but Kelly's grandmother-in-law was killed. As Kelly left the church, he was shot by a hero neighbor who jumped into a car with Johnny Langendorf and chased him down.
He just hurt so many people, and he just affected so many people's lives. Why wouldn't you want to take him down?
Kelly crashed and apparently killed himself. He had a violent past, serving a year in prison after a court-martial for assault on his spouse and their 11-month-old child. Kelly received a bad conduct discharge from the Air Force.
Lift this name in Christ. Everything's in Christ.
14-year-old Annabelle Renee Pomeroy was the youngest daughter of the church pastor.
We lost more than Belle yesterday. And one thing that gives me a sliver of encouragement is the fact that Belle was surrounded yesterday by her church family that she loved fiercely.
President Trump in Japan, as part of his Asia trip, ordered flags at the White House be flown at half-staff.
Our hearts are broken, but in dark times, and these are dark times, such as these, Americans do what they do best. We pull together.
And we do have new information to share with you. Just in, the Associated Press is reporting that according to officials, the Air Force did not submit the Texas church shooter's criminal history to the FBI as required by Pentagon rules. This is something that investigators are now looking into. It could help explain how Kelly was able to obtain weapons. As soon as we get more information, we'll of course bring it to you. For now, we're live in Sutherland Springs, Texas. Leanne Morejon, Local 10 News.
Frustrating to hear. And Leanne, we saw Johnny Langendorf there in your piece, one of the heroes who chased after the suspect in his pickup truck. Tell us more about the other hero who we haven't seen yet.
Well, we still don't know, but we understand that that other person is the one who did open fire on this suspect, engaging him. Of course, we know that as many people were running for their lives, some of whom weren't even able to make it, these two heard the sounds of those gunshots, ran towards the danger, and took it upon themselves to interact with this shooter, fire at him, then pursue him. And later on, he was, of course, found deceased. And it makes you wonder whether or not if these gentlemen had not gotten involved somehow, whether or not more people may have been killed or perhaps injured as a result of the shooter's actions. But of course, not to downplay the fact that 26 people were killed, an astronomical number, especially when you consider the population of this town, only a few hundred people, about 400 or so that call Sutherland Springs home. This is a community that is rocked tonight. We know that several vigils are planned for later this evening.
And those two heroes certainly helped save many lives.